their dad, but I told him no.
This is a mess. This is a mess. You know what? It started off messy. The middle was messy. The end is messy. You all should be ashamed. These babies 4 years old sitting up. Really? To be 4 years old and have to sit up and ask two grown adults, is somebody my daddy? Babies got more sense than the mama and the daddy. Why, Miss Thorpe, would you look at these two girls and you say you know for certain Mr. Morris is their biological father? Why would you tell them no?
Because we wasn't for sure at the time. I didn't want
So
to
you
tell
aren't sure.
Father.
You aren't sure.
I mean, at the time, I didn't feel like I was sure, so I didn't want to tell them, have them call. And then he wasn't even around.
So wait a minute, who else could be their dad? Diagnostics, and they read as follows. There are two sets of results because they are fraternal twins, so we tested each twin individually, of course. This first result is for Paris. In the case of Morris versus Thorpe, when it comes to 4-year-old Paris Morris, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Morris, you are not the father. Well, you were correct there. You are not Paris's biological father. Miss Thorpe, you don't look surprised. The next result is for London. In the case of Morris versus Thorpe, when it comes to 4-year-old London Morris, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Morris, you are not the father. Miss Thorpe, somewhere inside of you, you knew this was a very real possibility. I can see your reaction. Who is their father?
The other guy I was talking to. When I told him I was pregnant, he stopped talking to me.
So this makes sense. So you went with the guy with the best reaction. You went with the guy that was building nurseries. You went with the guy that was going to doctor's appointments. And you went with the guy that was going to support you through this. These twins, they need you to step in and make that call again. They deserve to know who their father is definitively. I want to try to get this man in this courtroom so we can determine once and for all if he is the twins' biological father. And if there is another possibility, maybe in some ways it's good you called him Uncle Twine. You know, maybe in some ways the universe just worked that right on out because now they just think it's an uncle, then they don't think he's their daddy because he's not.
And they got my last name.
And they have your last name. Uncle Twine's last name. I can't wait to hear y'all explain that to them. Wish you the very best. Court is adjourned.